folks. Welcome back to another episode of Live in 5, baby. 1-1-1. We are back. We are live. Azo J Swish. Get one in before I head out on our Canadian swing. Going to see our good buddy Dale Saunders later in the week in Ottawa. I can't wait for that, Azo. I'm going to see him. He's going to be coaching, and then we're doing our show, obviously. So going to meet up with Dale on Friday night. I told him, I'm like, look, Dale, like we're doing a 3 and 4. We don't do these shows how we used to do them in terms of getting shit-faced before or after. But I need to see it. I need to have at least one rock old-fashioned with you. So Azo is a guy that knows both chins, a guy that knows how we get down. There is a travel day for us on Saturday, so the following day, me and Gucci are going to have to get on a train from Ottawa to Montreal, which will be actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
It hugs the St. Lawrence Seaway. But knowing everything, what are you setting the over-under at for drinks on Friday in Ottawa? Like, I really don't want to get drunk. But it's Tuesday, and it's like you just get a little scared at the time, and then you get overly horny to see your buddy.
So you're gonna see him Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday, you're just traveling.
Right, but have to do a show in Montreal on Sunday. And it's almost honestly worse to be 2 days stung than it is 1 day stung.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because usually you can kind of gut it out that day. Like the following day, you kind of just hits you. But I don't know. I really don't want to be hung like on Sunday because you're up there for work. You want to be responsible. You want to take pride in your craft.
Yes.
But you also have the Godfather, who I get to see maybe twice a year.
Yes.
So is there a way I can stay out till like 2 and not have a lot? Like, was that hard with Rico and our boy Turn and Burn when you were in the cities, when you were kind of milking it a little bit? But you see them more often than you see a guy like Dale. That's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem. I do see Dusky more often. Was it hard? Yes and no, I guess. I still had a great time. That's the thing. So,
Right.
I still had a great time. Could it have been more fun than what I had? Yes, of course. But I was okay with the amount of fun that I did have. I think, man, I don't see any reason why you can't have, what time are you going to meet up with him? What time are you?
Well, he's getting off the ice in Ottawa, so it works out that he's coaching there that night. I think around 9:00. I'm sure we'll be wrapped around the same time. Shows at 7. I assume we'll go 70 to 90 minutes, a little meat and cheese afterwards, probably out of there by 9:15. You know what I mean? So we're at dinner at 9:30.
Yeah, so it's a later start.
Which is dangerous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're meeting up at 6, I wouldn't even say you can't reach double digits, maybe, but if you're meeting up at 9:30, I'd say you'd probably want to cap it at 6 or 7.
Yeah, I would say that too.
You're going in with like, okay, I'll have 2, but
Right.
you're gonna have at least 5.
Yes. Because I mean, even if you're just hanging out for 4 hours, right? He goes home at like 1, say. That's still only 1 an hour. Like you're almost too deep before you even say hi usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're gonna have to monitor that situation. That one's tough too, because like, I mean,
You're
that's
gonna go down easy too.
Yeah, I mean, that guy was
going down easy.
He basically lived with all of us at Walsh my freshman year. Sophomore year, I lived with him. Only got 2 years with him. It felt like it was an eternity. And then, outside of Dusky, I mean, Dale, you, Chiz, like those are you guys are the guys I talk to the most, and Hards obviously too. I mean, we're all close, but I'm just saying, like, he's one of my, if I were to
thing, and you never
if I were to
see
get
him.
if I were to get engaged again, he's probably in my wedding. You know what I mean? So like that's what I'm saying is like he's one of those guys where he's a cabinet member of my crew.
Yeah. He's
and
a foxhole guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough because once I see that big bald fuck smiling, it's gonna be hard to contain myself is all I'm really saying. So
It's going to be nearly impossible. Now,
yeah.
I think you can keep it respectable, but you're not only having 3 or 4.
Hmm.
Like you're getting to 5 for sure, and then it's however much discipline you have. I think if you stay at around 7, like yeah, you're gonna be a little stung because drinking that late, you're always a little stung the next day. But it's
Yeah,
not gonna be like unbearable stung. Like you take a nap and it's probably gone.
yeah, and it's funny, like from an outsider's perspective, like someone that is listening to this and doesn't really know how. I assume they know how we floor it when we meet up with each other. Now it's not every weekend; this is once, twice a year these days. But that's what this is. What this weekend is presenting, and to say that you're only going to have 7 to 10, and you're not going to be that hung to an outsider that doesn't know us is one of the funniest things ever. And I completely agree with you. If I have under 10 drinks, that's almost like I didn't have any.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I
you're
mean,
looking good.
Dale's famous words, he would come in after boozing on Tuesdays and be like, "Dale, did you drink last night?" He's like, nah. I'm like, "What do you mean, dude? You're out till 2 in the morning." He's like, "I didn't know. I had under 10." I'm like, "Well, that's still fucking 10 drinks." You know what I mean? It's like, so to the outsider, that is asinine, but to us, that's a night off.
That's a night off. And it depends on how you count your drinks too, right? Like, what is an old fashioned? Like a half cup of old fashioned. Are you
Yeah.
counting that as one drink? Because that ain't one drink. I mean, that's like three.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I'm gonna count that as one, and especially when I count doubles as one too. It's just a mindset,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And you know what? The funniest one is to count as one is when you get the double pour of vino. So they'll be like, "You want the 6, the 9.5, or the 12 ounce?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'll do the 12 ounce. Why not?" They fill that fucking thing to the brim. And also, if you have 2 glasses of that's a whole bottle. That's arguably more than a bottle. And then you
Oh,
tell
yeah.
yourself you only had two. You're like, dude, you just took down an entire bottle.
You took an entire bottle down and you had 2 glasses. But
It's
yes, you had 2. That's all you had.
so funny, dude. So yeah, we'll see on that front. Heading up to the chin this weekend. Azo. Obviously, we got UND coming here to the chin of Arizona in Tempe. But first off the top, Azo brought to you by Mini Movers and Butter Golf. Talked about this a little bit earlier today on Home by 3. But I got a call from Luke Strand today, early in the morning. Got a missed FaceTime, a missed call, and then it was, "Hey, Jordan, can you call me?" First of all, Jordan, can you call me? Probably not the best news. You know what I mean? Like usually be schmaltzy, like, "What are you doing?" or whatever. So I learned today that I had actually lost, or we lost, the hockey community, my first billet dad in Sioux City, who was Mike Barazia.
Oof.
Boys used to call him Bar Down. I lived there with 3 other dudes: Tim O'Brien, Brett Patterson, and Caleb Herbert. It was my first house I've ever lived in. I've told stories about Bar Down before, how I used to throw the New York Times on the top of his roof just to fuck with him. He was a 5'6" little Jewish guy from Brooklyn. And, he was a New Yorker through and through. Moved actually out to Sioux City to work for the Blue Bunny factory, the ice cream plant. And he was had some sort of executive job there. So, Bar Down didn't have the greatest house, but there was no rules there. You know what I mean? In terms
Yeah.
of, there was anything went. You could have chicks in there. You could have parties. You would, look the other way. And, aside from the fact that his foundation had some cracks in it, we had to, sift through some snakes that would sneak through there. We'd be like playing video games. All of a sudden a snake would come across your feet. You're like, Jesus Christ. So I used to lasso these snakes with a crazy OV curve that I torched at the rink, because used to, back in the day, use a 2-piece stick in the USHL.
Yeah.
So you get the blade, and then you get the stick, and you put the glue, and you put it together. But I had one of these sticks because there was like 3 or 4 instances of these 3-foot bull snakes coming in through the foundation. I'm like, what is going on? So I bought one of those industrial sized garbage cans at Menards. And anytime a snake would come through, I would grab that crazy OV curve that I made that was just hooked, like just an absolute fishing line on it. And I would hook it in there, and then I would just put the snakes outside of his room upstairs. I said, "Mike, take care of your fucking snakes, for fuck's sake." So I was always fucking with them, but he's always giving it back to me. And we had such a good relationship. And also, it sucks when you just lose, someone. I wasn't, obviously, over the years, we would talk a little bit on my birthday. He would always send me a text anytime I was still playing, and I had a good night, or he heard about where I was playing overseas. Bar Down, as we called him, was always the first guy to text me. But we lost a good man. And as you know, billet families make junior hockey go around. So I just wanted to pay my condolences to Mr. Barazzia,
Yeah.
the entire Sioux City community. This guy, Azo, like he lived and breathed Sioux City Musketeer hockey, which, you know what, is a testament to itself. You know, you
Mhm.
impact a lot of lives at that age, and he was a good dude. So definitely a super fan, and a guy that I'll definitely miss and until I see him again, bar
How
down.
old is he?
I think he was just under 70, I want to say, and it sounded like he had some health problems recently. You know, over the last year or something like that, and yeah, it sucks. It just he was
Damn,
a
that's
he was a character. Azo is what he was. As I kind of wrap this thing full circle, he was a character, brother. Like
mhm.
this guy would, like
Well, yeah, he had to be if you're tossing his New York Times on the roof.
oh yeah, and I did it from like January to March. And the reason why I did it because the food he was making us was so shitty. He'd make like this casserole, half-ass casserole that he would go get like sloppy Joe mix and noodles, and then he'd throw it in the freezer before he went to work. So when we would get it, it would be frozen. I'm like, Mike, I can't eat any more frozen dinners. He's like, where do you want to go? Burger King? I'm like, no. He's like, Pizza Ranch? I'm like, fuck no. How about you just give me like $10 and I can go to Qdoba or something like that? So I was so mad the one day, and I was just a jackass at that age. I'm still am, but I was just a rat, you know, just a
Mhm.
young kid, just a vigilante a little bit. So I was fed up, and I just every morning I would go to school at 7 a.m. and I'd actually, you know, leave just after him. He would go to work and I would go to school. My other three roommates, they were out of school, so they were just, you know, hanging out, sleeping, doing whatever. So I would, you know, he would leave, and by the time I would leave, the paper route would just so happen to be right around at the time I would leave, like 7:30. So I would see that paper get thrown on the driveway. So one morning I was just like, "Fuck this." I throw his newspaper, his New York Times, like this guy, he would read this like the Bible. Throw his New York Times on top of the roof into the snow, it obviously would disappear. The next day, on top of the roof. I did this for 3 months straight, to the point where he would call. Not only that, he called the New York Times, he called the paper, he called USPS, and they're like, he's like, I don't know what to do. They're not sending me the New York Times. That's how you're talking. Like, are you guys stealing it from me? Like, what is going on? Like, Jordan, are you playing a prank on me? I'm like, Mike, I haven't seen the New York Times, fella. Like, I'm sorry. So now we fast forward to April. Now we just lose out. We lose in game 3 at best of 3 to Sioux Falls, Sioux City versus Sioux Falls.
Mhm.
And all my roommates, they move out because they're going home. Me, I got to stay there for school. And now as the snow is melting, Azo, the debris of roughly 100 newspapers is coming off the roof. And it is flying everywhere. It's like one of those snow globes when you shake it up. And it just so happened to be a really windy day. And I come home and it is all over the yard to the point where like you almost have to rake it up, you know, because it was like that
Yeah.
first like sunny day of where the
Uh,
snow melts and the wind just hit it. I'm like, oh my God. And he sits me down. He goes, Jordan, did you really do this? I'm like, how do you know it was me? He's like, you're the only asshole to do that to me. I'm like, oh, fuck, you caught me. So, you know, we ended up having a whiskey that night, talking it out because he was, you know, he was upset. Like that was his, like I said, that was his New Testament, that was his Bible. And you know, I got through the bullshit of why I did it, and you know, we sat down. I was 16 years old, and you know, we ended up having a laugh, and it was awesome. And the last story I want to share about him is so my first semester there, Azo. Not to make this all about myself, but I do want to honor the guy. I go to Bishop Heelan, which is a private school. I've never been to a Catholic school in my life. Obviously, for
mhm.
me, a guy that doesn't really take order that well, just didn't go as planned. Like they were making me shave my face like every day in front of the priests and the nuns, and you know, dry shaving. They wanted me to do Saturday school. They tried to take my phone because I was texting in between classes. Like it was a lot. So I ended up transferring to the public school, which was in the hood. It was Sioux City East, and I was the only kid on our team going there. We had like 4 or 5 other guys in high school. So
Mhm.
we had just lost out, and you know, this was probably right around April, the same time, and I wasn't going to school. Like I was checked out. It was going until about Memorial Day, and I had about another 6 weeks left, and I was like, well, I'm not going to go the rest of the time I'm here. I'm just going to go to the rink. I'm going to work out. I'm going to skate. I'm literally not going to class. So I did that for, I'm not kidding you, a month straight. Like I did not go to one class. Like I just wouldn't show up to high school. So the principal gets a hold of this, and somehow for whatever reason, the first couple weeks I got lost in the system because I was a new transfer for that semester. So
Mhm.
they call the house where I was living, the Billet house, and they say, Jordan, you need to come in with your parent and we need to figure out what is going on, why you're missing school. So I'm like, all right, like my parents, like they're not here. So I go in there, I'm like, whatever. Like they're like, no, like you need to come here with your parents. We're gonna sit down with the superintendent, the principal, and the guidance counselor. I'm like, oh shit, this is kind of serious. So Mike Barazia stages this whole thing where he calls the school back, acts like he's my dad, which he probably wanted to be, as Mr. Schmaltz. And we go in there as Mike Barazia, who is acting as Mike Schmaltz, to sit down and have a serious board meeting of why I'm not going to class. And in the whole spiel he pitches him, which was he is depressed because his team lost out in the first round of the USHL playoffs.
What a legend, dude.
And they bought it.
No way.
Yeah.
What a legend. Yeah, you just play the mental health card. I'm depressed.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just off. Okay. All right. That's good.
Yeah.
God, what a legend. That's a legendary story. Bar down.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hilarious, man. But yeah, I just wanted to honor the great because I just,
So did
as
you
the
go
years-
into the school and like all sad, like just looking all sad, like fuck?
No, I didn't know what he's gonna say. I didn't know what he's gonna say. I was like, Mike, are you sure you want to do this? He's like, I got this. He like went in with like this, like he was like a method actor. And he just took over the meeting. And before we even walked out, I'm like, what just happened? And they cleared like all my absences. I was able to get my grades fine enough to be eligible. Like they were thinking about like holding
So you
me
weren't
back.
worried about like graduating or anything. Like you didn't.
Well, I was
care.
a junior at the time. So I was like, they were threatening me, like, hold me back, not giving me my credits. I'm like, well, fuck, like I gotta go to NODAC. I don't care about this school, but
Yeah.
I gotta somehow make grades to, at least get it off the books. And yeah, bar down went in there and just put on a clinic and put him in a blender, and they legit thought he was my dad. So
What a legend. That's
shout out to Bar D's, man. And every kid that's went through that program in Sioux City literally knows who this guy is because you'd have all the boys over all the time. The parties were there. And so I just wanted to honor him, Ozzo. Lost a good man out there. His kid actually lives in Verona, where I'm from. So it's
Cool.
it's a small world. And yeah, so I just wanted to honor him. But let's go to the ice. Let's go over to this weekend. Obviously, ASU, NODAC. Ozzo, want to start at the top with that.
Mhm.
What are we thinking from this past weekend? Obviously, the split. I actually watched on Friday night. The boys looked really good on Friday night, I will say.
They did. They actually looked pretty damn good all weekend. I watched them Saturday night too. Tough loss Saturday. Tough loss. You need that win, especially when you outplay them all game.
Did they?
Yeah, I mean, shots are like 40-14. It's just should have won the game, didn't. Tough loss. It's just those rivalries. Like Denver's a rivalry. It's so hard. I don't know what it is like in these 2-game shots. It's just so hard to win that second game. It's like impossible when you're playing a rival. It's like the Gophers matchup too. Like they couldn't beat them Saturday. It's like
it's almost like that. It's almost like the hockey gods just give them a game.
Yeah, it's like nothing's going in. The bounces just aren't there, and it's hard to explain. Like you wanted them to get that win so bad. Denver's down. You got them on the ropes, and I mean, you give them life, and now what's Denver gonna do? I wouldn't be surprised to see Denver go on a little heater here too, because their backs are against the wall a little bit too.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Like I was watching on Friday night at my parents' place. We were watching the game, and the boys, like the forecheck looked great. Their reloads looked good. They were making plays on the walls. A lot of, what I noticed is, and I think this is probably a testament to the coaching staff, and even bringing in a guy like Schmaby, and obviously having Simmer there, but they've really adapted well to the wall play. Now, the wall play when we were in school wasn't great. It was like they were just like preaching. If we got the puck to the wingers, they were just remember the forwards used to work on just like icing the puck, like playing it off the glass. I'm like, what are we doing? We have way too much skill in the back end to be doing this. But anyways, fast forward to this game I'm watching. So many good little plays on the walls. Our wingers have really strong hands and a lot of bump back plays to the middle of the ice to our centerman underneath and or the weak side D. Like I thought just the systems looked really good on Friday night. I haven't watched a ton over the last month, I'm going to be honest. That's why I always rely on you. But also, the playing style to me is really fun to watch. Like this is a good team here, man.
No, yeah, they're skilled. They make plays. They're deep. Their decor is. I kind of liked how they did it this weekend. They spread them out a little bit. You know, they had like who did they have? Verhoff and Livanovich, Weeb, and who was it? I think it was like Weeb and Larilla or something.
I like that number 18 too, or 16.
Emery and
D-Mac.
Strathman.
Yeah, Strathman. I like his game.
Yeah, I mean Larilla was making plays too this weekend. He looked good. You feel for a guy like Jaden Jumonville who's out of the lineup. He's a good player too. There's just no room for him on the back end right now. Yeah, man, they play an unbelievable game. And that Jan Spanar, their goaltender from Czech Republic, actually it's called Czechia now, I guess. They dropped the Republic. He's a hell of a player. I mean, it's looking like it's definitely Las Vegas or bust, Jordo. It's Frozen 4 or bust with this squad. I mean, they got the talent. This Reshny kid's unbelievable. Up front, they've got, on the back end, they've got older guys, and then they've got younger guys mixed in, and then it's just kind of the same story up front. It's just the makeup of a team that could ultimately go on to win the whole thing. It's kind of what you want. It's not too young. You're not too old, unskilled, just with, kind of the Mankato State old recipe for success. You don't have that. It's really what you want. And yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Now they're going to play ASU, like you said, down in Scottsdale this weekend. I think ASU, they're sitting pretty decent in the NPI. They're like 22nd or 23rd, I think. But they just lost that Cullen Potter kid who's got like 17 points in the last 11 games. That is tough for ASU. So I'd like to see our boys go get a sweep down there. It ain't going to be easy. I don't know what the crowds are looking like down there, Jordo. Are they still packing that arena?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The crowd's been great. Obviously with no NHL here, this is the team to watch. The student section has been every game I've been to 2 this year. And obviously I wouldn't watch McKenna. That was a buzzsaw in itself, but yeah, it'll be packed this weekend for sure. A lot of Kelly Green in the stands, but also the UND second power play is a unit that stands out for me with Zellers, Reshny. I mean, in recent time, this has got to be one of the better second units, I guess, if that's what you would call them, 1B, in the country. I mean, those guys on the flanks as your second unit. I mean, I was looking at that first unit. I'm like, yeah, that's solid. But, if we got those two guys on our second unit, I mean,
I think what they're doing is they spread it out. You got
try to, yeah.
You got 1A and 1B. I don't think you have a 1 and 2 unit,
sure.
Which I don't know. I was going to ask you about that. Like, is that the play? Like, do you want to have kind of 2 even units, or do you want to get 1 unit going? I don't know the answer to that, but I think there's pros and cons to each side probably. But right now, like, they could send out either of those units and they're dangerous.
Yeah, I would say right now in the regular season, as you're finding a cohesive unit and seeing what combinations work, is it Verhoff on a one-timer? Do we like Zellers on his forehand being a lefty in that spot on the flank? And then ultimately, obviously, Reshny on his one-timer side and Livanovich. And the first unit, I guess you would say, if you're calling them that 1A, would have 2D on it with Livanovich and Verhoff. I just think Azo, and you know this too, going down when it actually matters at tournament time, I think I want my best 5 players on the ice.
Yeah, and that's what I think too. Like, come tournament time,
yep.
Do we really want Zellers sitting on the bench and even Reshny sitting on the bench when we've got a 2-minute power play coming up? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. But you do have like Ben Strinden's playing well. This Ellis Rickwood's playing well. Dylan James has a lot of power play goals this year. He's been good on the power play. So it's like, how do you sit one of them on the bench? I don't know. That's tough decisions.
James is playing like goal line, right?
I think so. James is goal line. I think Strinden's up top on the bumper. He's not the bumper. He's like
Net
on
front.
this. He's not net front. He's kind of like up top with the D.
Okay. So it kind of like the bumper spot then.
Yeah, kind of.
So if you went 1-3-1, I mean, not that we're telling the coaching staff how to coach a team, but I mean, theoretically, you could keep Verhoff on his one-timer side if that's where you want him. So you'd be on the left flank, Livanovich at the top of the key, Reshny on his one-timer on the right flank. Then you'd probably go Bill Zellers in the middle because
Yeah.
he can give you that little pop play if it comes. It's a lot of times it's in that kind of situation. It's going to work over from Reshny to Livanovich and then load the one-timer to Verhoff. But if you
Mhm.
have Bill Zellers in the middle as a lefty, he becomes a one-time option too. And then at the net, I guess you could throw Dylan James or Strinden, whoever you want there. But yeah, I'm with you. So I think once it comes down to the wire, you probably want one unit going and can just play those guys, like give them like at least a minute 20 every
minute
power
20,
play.
minute 45 even,
Yeah.
They can stay out there that long. I
Yeah.
know in the season it actually does make sense. You want to get guys going, you want to spread out the ice time just to hopefully, avoid injuries and ultimately, conserve energy throughout the season so they have more of it come playoff time. So I do like it right now, but yeah, you're right. I mean, I think they do have to put all those five together. I'd probably no offense to Ben Strinden, he's having a hell of a season. I think you want Dylan James net front over him, just quicker on the puck, can get it back. I just think he might be a little better option, but I'm no power play specialist either.
The nice thing about the 2-unit system too is you keep everyone's agent happy as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You can kind of massage it where if you have 10 players and you sell them on, and especially if both units are working, right? There's no reason to load up one. If you can get to sub 20%, 22%, it gets more guys touches, gets them involved, makes them feel like a bigger piece of the team. I mean, you got a lot of good players too. So it's like, if someone was the odd man out and, he's getting no power play time, that's tough. Like that's just tough for morale, especially with young kids.
Yeah, it is. It's tough to keep everyone happy, especially when you got so many great players on one team. So that's a huge bonus for that, keeping people happy. I mean, you got to think about that as a coach too. You got to keep the agent happy because he's got other players that are coming up through the pipeline. But yeah, I'd be curious to see where those goals are coming from, which unit. I haven't paid attention to that. I mean, North Dakota's third in the nation in power play. I mean, they're one of the units or both of them are absolutely clicking. So yeah, maybe you don't change anything up. I mean, what the hell do I know? But
Right. What are they clicking at right now? Like 24, 25%?
28.7%.
Yeah, maybe you don't change anything right now then. I don't know. I mean, the numbers don't lie. If you're scoring 1 out of 3, you're clearly doing something right.
But then you got Duluth, who's number 1 in the nation at 33.7%. And they got 5 guys out there for 2 minutes every time they get a power play.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't even, I bet they don't even have a second unit.
Yeah, they got the scout team, and at the other end, those guys probably get like one walkthrough. They get like a couple controlled breakouts on a Wednesday practice. It's like, all right, boys, I don't even care.
Yeah.
The coach, Sandy's like, yeah, just fuck it. Like scout team, yeah, get out there.
Second unit, try to break the puck out on a full ice power play.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn it over. All right, next drill.
Yeah,
like that's how quick it is, probably.
100%. Yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting. What's that Cullen Powder? What's he out with? Is he?
Shit, I saw the play. I think he's done for the season. I don't know exactly what it was. It kind of looked like a dirty play almost from that Miami player, but
okay.
I heard he's out for the season, so it's got to be something serious.
Yeah, that's an absolute dagger for that lineup. I was actually surprised he wasn't on the USA team. I think he's got maybe 1 year left of eligibility. He'll probably stay next year. He came in as a 17-year-old to ASU, so I assume he will stay. Calgary draft pick. I think he was the last pick of the first round.
Mm-hmm. It looks like an upper body injury.
Okay. Yeah. Did you see that? How about did you see that fight? That's the former UND Fighting Hawk, Sasha Bover, and that other young man from UMass Lowell throwing down. That was old school. That had shades of Mario Lamoureux, Ryland Kipe. The plays at one end, you go to the other end just to chuck them and take your cage off. And
that was sick. I mean, this Boisvert, he's a goal scorer. He's a first round pick, Chicago Blackhawks, supposed to be a skilled player, Jordo. Did you see him switch up to the lefts? I mean,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
kid's tough.
yeah. Well, his dad was a Gold Gloves boxer, right?
Oh, I didn't even know that. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that explains it. Like this kid can
yeah,
throw him.
yeah. I think he's been throwing him since he's been out of the womb. I mean, he's been hitting the heavy bag. That was always the rumor when he was in Muskegon was, yeah, his dad was a Gold Gloves boxer. I remember Jax telling me that, a few years ago when they were recruiting him, and
Hmm.
I mean the way he was able to switch up from the left, like that's just something only your dad that fought could teach you and like is instilled with you. I mean, kid's
I
19 years old. Like it's like when Max Domi fights, like how does
Yeah,
he switch to
yeah,
the left? I mean,
yeah.
how is he so calm?
Like every time I've been in a little like scruffle like that or a fight in hockey, switching to my left, I got a better chance of toe dragging 8 guys in a row.
Yeah.
Like it's like impossible. I
Yeah.
don't know how you do it. So whenever a guy pulls that off, I'm like, oh fuck, this guy's tough.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
throwing lefts like that.
because if you have no idea what you're doing, you're literally opening up your entire other side of your body to expose yourself.
It's like
If
throwing a football left-handed the
right,
same way you're throwing right-handed. It's like,
but you also have to reestablish your grip too,
yeah,
which people don't understand. Like you're squaring off with a guy right, and I don't know anything about fighting, but I know I've listened to enough fighters. It's like if you're not quick with that and you miss your grab, I mean, your chin is essentially there just for the taking. Like
oh,
it was,
you're done if you miss.
yeah, that was impressive. But that kid's gonna be a great pro. I still wish he would have stayed at UND, but that's baseball. That happens.
I wonder how those BU guys are feeling right now because they're not having a great season. And this is the NIL thing, Jordo. They're not
Mhm.
having a great season. They obviously paid this kid. That's why he left. He got paid.
Yep.
I don't know what they paid him. Um, but regardless, they paid him some money. And
I think it was a sub 100.
yeah, I don't think it was an insane amount of money, but still, like someone wrote a check and he kind of hasn't panned out. He's been injured, and then all of a sudden you're losing to UMass, and you end up losing the game ultimately after this fight. Which UMass is right now they're having a terrible season, so it's bad loss. And now this kid that you just paid, I don't know, however much money, now he's suspended for 2 more games. You
Yeah.
can't use him. How are you feeling as the donors and the BU people like it is sick to watch a fight. Like I'm not going to tell any hockey player not to fight, but at the same time you're like fuck we're paying you to score goals and now you're not playing for the next 2 games because you just wanted to fight a guy on a terrible team.
Yeah, and he's been banged up. He's still somewhat producing though. He's
Yeah, he's over a point a game.
he's over a point a game, so we shouldn't lose sight of that. But I do agree with you, and I wanted to ask you is, it is the NLI era, and we've harped on this for years now in terms of various different episodes of how we actually feel on it. But is this an example of maybe it shows other coaches in college hockey that maybe it's not best to go just get a bunch of random players, or maybe you stick to your group and you rely on your recruiting for freshmen, or is this just a case of it could happen to anyone and that's just how it goes? Like to me right now with BU, and I haven't watched a ton of their games, but I would just say from the outside looking in, not knowing a ton about their team and their locker room, kind of screams to me like there's too many cooks in the kitchen there. Like
Yeah.
it's not me, it's we. And I don't know that entire locker room. Look, I've had a few encounters with some of their players, and whether it's young, immature, I don't know. To me, is it immaturity? Is it just a bad season? Is it we're all looking for our cookies and it hasn't panned out? Is it getting selfish over there? These are just questions I'm just asking. I don't know, but they should be way better than they are, Ozzo, especially with that coach who's a very Ferda guy by all accounts. I mean, Jay Pandolfo came
Yeah,
up through the ranks of
he's
Lou
one of the best.
Lamoriello. Yeah, so no bullshit there.
Yeah, you know what I think when I mean I've looked at BU's roster and I'll bring you through it because it's kind of funny. I mean, right now I think they're just too young, and I know they got a bunch of kids from the NTDP to come in this year that were on the 18 team last year. And sometimes these NTDP kids, they come in guns a blazing. They're just unreal. They're over a point a game, and sometimes they should have went to the USHL. And I
Yep.
think a lot of the kids that they had come in from the US program, they probably should have went back to the USHL. I mean, their team is made up of let's go through their list here of their points. Sophomore, senior, which is Owen McLaughlin. He's second on the team in points with 15. That ain't great.
That ain't great.
Sophomore, junior, freshman, sophomore, freshman, sophomore, sophomore, freshman, sophomore, freshman, 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 sophomore. They're too young.
Yeah. And they're immature.
They're immature. I think that's what they're seeing because obviously they've got some of the best talent in college hockey. I just think these kids are a little too young, and there's just not the right blend of older guys who are, not high end players, but they're good college hockey players. And then you got your younger players who are, highly skilled. They don't have that recipe this year, I don't think.
Yeah, and I always do think whether you're, it doesn't. I don't necessarily think it translates to college hockey as much as I do it translates to the NHL. But over New Year's, and you got me thinking here because you're talking about the U.S. program, you're talking about building rosters, young players, old players. But over New Year's, I'm going to name drop here. I was over at Ray Whitney's place, the Wizard. 1,000 points, 1,300 games, won a cup with Kami actually in Carolina in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought this point to me as a Canadian, a good Canadian from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. And he was talking to me because I love breaking down hockey with him. I was just sitting there having a beer, and it was just me and the Wizard. I was like, this is awesome. I was sitting there like just an hour one-on-one with him. And we were breaking everything down from the National League to college to junior. And, at one point this got brought up, when I wanted to bring it up to you, is he always said, or he said he always says, and he told me at the time, the best NHL teams that win Stanley Cups have over 50% of the roster being Canadian. He said Canadian players, they grow up, and especially Western Canadian players, grow up wanting one thing, the Stanley Cup. He said U.S. players, they kind of want to just get theirs. He's like, especially the forwards, they're a little more selfish. They're a little more flamboyant. They're a little bit more, let me get my cookies. Let me be on this billboard. Let me get this ad. He's like, there's nothing wrong with that. He's like, I do like the U.S. players. But he said every good team, if he was building a team at the NHL level, he would focus heavily on Canadian players, in particular Western Canadians, just how like Kelly McCrimmon does it in Vegas. Do you see any? Now, we're U.S. guys, so I kind of took offense to that at the start, but then I started kind of dissecting it, and it makes sense. Like, are we a little bit more selfish as players on the U.S. side, and especially our forwards versus Canadian players, or do you think that narrative is just coming from a good old Canadian guy that's trying to get in my head as a U.S. guy?
No, I mean, I think there may be a little bit of both there, but I felt the same way for a long time. I mean, it's when you talk about, the U.S. catching Canada in hockey, I think in terms of top end talent, we've actually gotten closer to them. We do have a lot of guys who are, we've got some high end guys with top end talent that rivals the Canadians. What we don't have, Jordo, is let's go out and make 4 U.S. teams and 4 Canadian teams. Now, our top team's going to compete with their top team, but then our second, third, and fourth team, they're all going to get fucking steamrolled.
Right.
Like, I don't think we don't have that depth. And that's interesting. He says, you grow up wanting a Stanley Cup. Like, that's all you want. I don't think it's the same way for the U.S. players.
So
It's
basically, what he was saying in layman's terms, and for people listening, is Canadian players, at least in my interpretation, what he was saying is Canadian players are more Ferda than U.S. players, and in particular, forwards. Canadian forwards are way more. He's like, the U.S. is never. He's like, U.S. When's the last time they've had a Sidney Crosby? Yeah, you guys have Austin Matthews, you have Jack Eichel, but he's like, in terms of just the Ferda level is how I interpreted that. We don't have that. and he's like, you guys have Jack Hughes. He's like, he's a great player. We have Sidney
Matt,
Crosby. Who's
Matty
our small guy?
Kachuk, Matty Kachuk, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and he's like, who's your small heart and soul dog? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, we got Brad Marchand. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. It was an interesting take, and I was just trying to look through it. But again, I would say our heart and soul guys are the Kachucks. I
Yeah,
mean,
we don't
those
have a
are
Tom.
pretty good.
I guess they're comparable to Tom Wilson a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I kind of tweeted this out, just saying how I've always admired the way Western Canadians play hockey. It's just when I think hockey and when I think hockey player, it's the way Western Canadians play hockey. I mean, they live and breathe it. They're out there to win the game. They don't care about, they're doing anything to win the game. They're up in your grill. They're trying to piss you off the whole game. They're kind of taking little cheap shots behind the ref when the ref isn't looking. I mean, all this little shit they're just doing to win the game. And they're so competitive and they love hockey so much. It's just, you can't compete with that. And we don't have that in the US. Like, we don't really have players that play like that. And
Yeah. And what he was saying too, Ozzo, and you make a great point there, is he was like, you guys all live in the US. Like, we're in our best players, and a lot of these kids are playing to get off the farm. They're playing to get out of Canada. They're playing to get into your country. They're fucking scratching and clawing to make it to the league and then win the Stanley Cup, where it's like, you guys, I don't know. I think he was just kind of saying that U.S. players are a little bit softer in that sense. And I agree with him a little bit. I do think our best teams at UND, if I can kind of all tie it together, had those Western Canadians, like a General Patton, like a Brent Chiswick, like a Colton Sanderson. Colton Sanderson, that Ferda level, you don't really find that unless it's in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, or Brent Chiswick
no.
from Verdon, Manitoba. You can get it close, like, you're a small town kid like you or me in the U.S., but I don't know. It was an interesting point that he was bringing up.
And what you have in Canada, Jordo, too, is like, I think this is a direct correlation to that. It's, most of these players that are good coming out of America, their parents are rich.
Yeah.
They're loaded because it's a lot easier to play high level hockey in Canada if your parents are teachers. Now, if your parents are teachers in the US, it's really hard for you to play a high level hockey. You can't really do it unless you're playing in Minnesota, where you can play on a good high school team, maybe. In Canada, they got high level hockey everywhere you go there. So that's another major benefit. Like you said, I think what drives most athletes to be where they ultimately get to is they come from nothing. If you look at a lot of the best athletes that have ever, the fighters, the basketball players, the football players, they all came from nothing. And that's just added motivation to ultimately, push yourself to be better. Whereas someone who grew up with, parents who were able to afford hockey and they lived in a nice house and they weren't really worried about paying the bills or getting out of what their situation was in, you don't have that added motivation.
Yeah. You don't, you kid growing up in Hinsdale, Illinois, playing for the Chicago Mission, paying 30 grand a year to play. What is his motivation or level of dog compared to a kid in rural Manitoba with nothing?
Like, that kid in rural Manitoba is probably thinking like, fuck, I gotta make the NHL because I want to buy, I want to get mom and dad a nice place in Winnipeg, a condo or whatever. And like, you ain't thinking that as an American kid. Like, you're like, mom and dad are fine.
If I get that tryout, I'm gonna rip some kid's face off from, again, Chicago or Detroit or even California. You know what I mean?
Like, you're going to find out of every 10 hockey players, let's just take 10 hockey players from Canada and 10 from the US. Okay. If these 10 hockey players, I bet you can find 8 of these guys out of Canada that'll take a puck in the face to win a game.
Mm-hmm. You're
going to have probably 3 out of 10 in America that'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we still have those guys. I just think
we definitely have those guys. It's nowhere near the amount that Canada has.
Yeah, and it's that it's that sense of desperation that I think that separates it a little bit. And there's just, it's better now too with hockey on TV. But I mean, even our era of age group, also like still competitive guys. We would have been fine in any sport we're playing, but just in terms of viewership, like we had to watch the NHL on Versus, where in Canada it's on every single
It's so much easier for
TV,
them
and
to watch.
and
Yeah.
you understand the tradition and what the magnitude of the game and the emotional level. Like that's one thing I never really understood, and I don't know about you. I think Canadian kids are able to relate about the emotion of what it takes to play hockey.
Mhm.
You never really learn that, at least for me, because we were always just so much better than everyone we were playing
Yeah.
against, including even when we would go up to Canada and get a taste of it. But I just think it's so much more instilled, like the emotion of the game of what it means. So yeah, it was just an interesting point by the Wizard, and
That is an interesting point, but I can just relate it to like who I've played with. All those guys, you play with like a Sasky boy or like a Dub guy. If they're on your team, man, they're just like your favorite teammate. Like all
yeah,
of them, like it's just they'd be willing to they'll go to jail for you. They'll stick a guy in the face for you if he fucks with you. It's just everything they bring. They've always been my favorite teammates. Like those, especially the Saskatchewan guys. I mean,
yeah,
I've played with like 3 or 4 of them, and I just every one of them, I'm like, God, this guy is just all time.
yeah. No, I do think I concur with that, but I just wanted to bring that across your chin, Azo, as we inch closer to Milan. Azo, divisional weekend this past weekend in the NFL. Look, we're not football guys. We talk a little bit about football. We throw out maybe a pick that's not going to hit. We're not Booger McFarland. We're not Adam Schefter over here. We're not John Gruden, who we talked about last week either. But that officiating in those games was absolutely atrocious. Now, I texted you on Sunday after sleeping on it, drinking a little bit on it. That play that insinuated in the Bills Denver game in the Mile High City, where obviously Cooks went down. We thought it was a catch. They ruled it an interception. A similar play happened the day after in Chicago. I wouldn't say it was technically the same kind of play, but it was ruled a catch. Now, we were going back and forth saying, yeah, that Cooks play 100% was a catch. Obviously, online, everyone, depending on what kind of fan you were back and forth. I don't know if you saw what Burrow said, though. Did you see that, Azo? Did you see
No,
Joe Burrow's tweet?
no, what did he say?
So Joe Burrow tweeted that people need to understand the rules, and the officials got the call on the field, both of them right.
Really?
So that was an interesting take. But I just think like that play, like how do you call that a pick when I know you have to have control when you get down to the field, but it's like his knee is down, he rolls over, the ball is now taken right from his breadbasket, and it's ruled an interception. And then those pass interference plays to cost them the game. Like that
I
one was
know.
so soft. And how do you decide a game on that? It's just like all the sharp money was on Denver.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
I mean,
everyone had the Bills.
I know. It's you think about that shit. I just, regardless of the rule, Jordo. I mean, you look at even what the Bills had called against them last year. If you go back to that, it was the same catch that got called the other way. Regardless of what the rule book says, I mean, let's favor the guy trying to catch the ball, the receiver.
Yeah.
Like if he's got it in his hands and his back lands on the ground, well, he's down.
Yes.
Caught the ball and he's down.
And his right knee was already down before that, too, before he rolled on his back.
Yeah, it's like and if anything, I thought it was maybe it's a tie. They both caught it. Well, then we all know the rule: the tie goes to the runner. Tie should go to the wide receiver. I just think, yeah, that was so hard. Like to lose that game, McDermott loses his job from it now.
I know it's
just crazy.
So hypothetically, if he catches that and it's like a stretch play, right? So he stretches out to catch it versus kind of catch it on a knee and fall backwards. If both of his knees are down, is that a catch?
Even if one knee's down, yeah.
Right, but his one knee was down. But I'm just saying he didn't have conclusive or he didn't have full control of the ball.
Yeah,
is
they
what
were
said.
arguing he didn't have full control, like he was bobbling it all the way down, and then while he was kind of trying to get control, the defensive guy swiped it from him. It's just imagine
It looked like he had control though. I mean, like,
when you stop it and his knees down, you're like, well, he's got the ball and his knees down, so he caught the ball, and then he falls on his back, which kind of loosens the ball up, of course, and that's when it gets stolen. It's like, I don't know.
like your
I would
knees,
be if you're Josh Allen. Like, how do you sleep, dude? I wouldn't be able to sleep.
yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know what else you're supposed to do other than not get it stripped while you're on your back and you've already had a knee down. It's just like you said, I'm just on that train of thought. And look, I don't know. I've never studied the NFL or football rule book, so I don't technically know the definition. It just from what I know, which isn't much, and just talking to people that have played in the NFL and former even football players at the collegiate level, I would say I probably send out that text to probably 10 football guys. 8 out of 10 were that's a catch. So
Mhm.
it's like I don't know. It's just that's such a daggered way for them to lose, and now Bo
And
Nix is hurt, and they're gonna get fucking whacked. Like, is this just setting up for New England just to win it all again? Is this a Bob
yeah,
Kraft special right now?
yeah, it looks like it. It certainly looks like it. And Jordo, you were mentioning, um, I'm going to go just talk about football in general here. You were mentioning billet families earlier on.
Hmm.
Okay. So, all right. Well, I just watched the national championship game last night. Indiana, Kurt Signetti, obviously an absolute weapon. The Siggy, I call him the Marlboro Man,
Yeah,
Sig.
unreal.
Um, unreal. Anyways, Miami's quarterback, Carson Beck, 2 years graduated, hasn't been to school in 2 years.
Yeah, he's like
Get
28.
He's getting paid $4 million a year. It's like, okay, he's just a pro. He's living in a mansion in Miami. Like
Yeah,
he's a pro playing college. What's stopping us? I mean, you know what? We got college football on Saturdays. We got NFL on Sundays. What's stopping us from bringing NIL to high school? Let's get the billets going. You know,
yeah.
if
Fuck
you're
it.
you get 4 years of eligibility in high school football. Everyone knows you're not playing on the varsity team your freshman and sophomore year. So you got guys 2 years out of high school, like their fourth year playing high school. Let's pay them in Texas. Let's get the Texas high schools to, recruit them in, pay them NIL, get the billet families rolling. Let's give us some Friday football. Why not? Let's just go all in, start paying fucking 15-year-olds $200,000 to play football. I
Dallas
mean,
Carter versus
yeah, like what's stopping
Permian.
us? Why are we
Let's
stopping at college? Let's I want Friday night football.
And let's live stream every game and let's go like full Friday night lights. Like let's have
Yeah.
Tim McGraw, the drunk dad, beating up his kid, Billingsley. Let's have Booby Miles, the
Imagine the high
painting back
school
porch.
drama coming out on ESPN.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
yeah, fucking, one of the quarterback's girlfriend banged the wide receiver.
Yes.
And like we need this shit. I mean, let's not stop at college. Let's bring it. I mean, ESPN's signing that TV deal tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And like Eric Dickerson back in the day driving like a gold Trans Am because Southern Money gave him that car. Like, let's just give him the Trans Am in high school. When he
Yeah.
turns 16, Dickerson Jr., whoever it's going to be, let's watch these kids play on Friday night because what else are we going to do? They're not going to show more hockey, so let's just go all in on football. Pop Warner should start fucking paying kids to play.
Yeah, I mean,
Why not?
Why not? I want different levels. I mean, it's fun watching college football. Great. It's going to be fun watching high school football. If we, I'm sure, you get this Coy Parrish kid from Hibbing. He's playing high school football in Hibbing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ship his ass down to Texas. Let's see him fucking fight for a Texas state title.
Fuck yeah. There should be like a Southern division of, I don't know. I mean, you could profit off of anything. So you could probably honestly have as many teams as you want. But Ozzo, who's to say you just started off as a 24 team league, 12 teams in each division or conference, play it all in Texas? Maybe there's a couple select places in Alabama or Louisiana that want to fork over some dough. But you could have just a Texas high school football league just in one state. And honestly, it would profit better than arena football. It would
Oh yeah.
profit better than XFL. It would profit better than the CFL. Like that would be where the real money is. I like this idea. I'm all in. Let's buy a fucking team.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got these oil rig guys in Texas in these small towns. I mean, they'd
Yes.
be paying for players. I mean, it'd be electric.
Yeah. And like everyone has skin in the game. And no one wants to watch a bunch of washed up players outside of the NFL. Let's be clear on that.
No,
People don't even want to watch bad ball in college, mid majors. They want to
no.
watch SEC and now Big Ten. So if you had all these prospects and you had a hand, and like these oil rigger guys had a hand in where they play, where they're gonna, and ultimately their development, like everyone would win. They'd feel so
Yeah.
important,
And
right?
those seniors in high school that have probably played on varsity their junior and senior year, they're going to go into whatever college recruited them and they're going to sit on the bench for 2 years. They're not
Yeah.
going to play right away. So we might as well just, give him a Trans Am or a Corvette or whatever and pay him some money so he can get a place in town in this little high school town. And, he's going to be banging teachers in the school, but,
Yep,
that's the
that's
drama
fine.
that we want.
That's fine. I mean, they're as long as it's that way, it's you're not going to jail. No one's getting hurt. Dude, I like it. I mean, these kids, I mean, we move as hockey players. I mean, there's no money in hockey, but we move as 15 or 16-year-olds. Why?
And we got billet families. I mean, we're
Right.
doing it.
Yeah. Imagine that, dude. Oh my God. There would be so many there'd be so many Ruslan Fedotenko situations walking
Oh
around.
yeah. Oh,
Every kid would just be banging their billet mom. Some kid from the backwoods of Georgia coming
oh,
into, you know, Dallas Carter, like I said. Oh my, living at a 12,000 square foot house with a sport court, a movie room. Oh my God. Yeah, there'd be next thing you know, you got a mulatto brother. You're like, damn.
oh, the documentaries coming out of that league would be hilarious.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We should pitch that to Gerald Jones maybe the next time we see him over there in at Cowboy Stadium. I like this idea. Hey, speaking of that game, did you see? I mean, first off, who is Michael Irvin's snow guy, and is he still doing that much dust? Like the guy was on the field for the coin flip. Like he's still the Miami cocaine ambassador. That guy is an absolute buzzsaw. I mean, that's one dude I want to meet. Playmaker all time.
I know. He's a legend. Yeah, you gave him the honorary captain. They've been doing that. I saw people like, what is Michael Irvin on the fucking field? What are they getting? Was he on the team? Well, they've been doing that for a little while now. That's how we have that. You remember that pic of Mark Ingram
Yeah.
next to Derrick Henry? When
Uh,
he's
oh
looking
yeah.
at him like just
Yeah.
looking up at him like, holy fuck.
Holy fuck.
He was the honorary captain, so they've been doing it for a while, but that's Michael Irvin. What a fucking legend, man. I don't know how because he's obviously like, yes, okay, he's acting like he's on coke, but he's obviously not. So like, where's this guy getting his energy from?
Why? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he used to be on heavy dust. I don't know if he.
I don't think. Can you continue? Like,
I don't think so. I mean, you'd like to think the guy hung up his key. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like Jesus, Mike. Like how much dust can you do? I mean, he was a part of the cocaine Cowboys days back in the real you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Mike is still has like a year round ski pass, but you never know. Going into Hard Rock Stadium for the national championship, like he very well could have stopped in Liberty City and bought a
I
dime.
suppose they didn't have a camera on him during his bathroom breaks, so we don't know how
Right.
many of those he took.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? He had some pistols stuffed up there, but yeah, that guy is all time. I mean, he's just like, he's on that legendary status of he just can't talk as well as Ocho, but like in terms of a character, he's right up there.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely not as good at talking, but his I don't know if you watched that documentary, that Dallas Cowboys documentary.
Oh, yeah.
Some of his sayings are just all time. Like, yeah, I gotta run the slant or else we're running back to the hood.
Yeah. You
Like
run,
just fucking nails.
when he's talking about little Michael on his shoulder,
yeah.
little Michael's scared to run up the middle because Ronnie Lott's going to jack him up. He's like,
Yeah.
he's the snap's about to go. And he's like, you either run that slant, you'll run your ass back to the ghetto. And he's just fucking take the shot up the middle. That's when football was actually tough. Yeah, he's got some great one-liners like the White House and like the funniest part, and I guess, it's not, I don't know if it's funny or sad or whatever, but you don't have to read too much into it, is like the guy was married the entire time he was talking about like these nights at the White House. It's like, Mike, did you not remember you were?
Was he actually?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like talking about like basically like having threesomes at the White House. It's like, Jesus, bro. Like, you're on TV right now, right? Like,
I mean, maybe he had a deal struck up with her.
yeah, that's true. You never know. You could have had that domestic deal. You never the old two-way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, fuck. Mike Irvin. Yeah, that game was actually better than I thought, to be honest. I wanted Indiana. I mean, crazy to see them win, to be honest. That was pretty cool for Sig. And
what's that like in hockey terms, Jordan? Was that like fucking? It's got to be like, I don't even know, man.
I mean,
it's like Omaha, and maybe Omaha winning. Not even maybe like Bowling Green winning. I mean, Indiana was one of the worst football programs in the nation for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say like almost like Quinnipiac, but they don't have the history. Like Quinnipiac doesn't have the history the University of Indiana does. So when Quinnipiac won, they were kind of like new to the party. Like, they weren't great for a lot of years, but it's not like they had like 100 losing seasons like Indiana.
Union maybe like
Union, yeah, or even like more of like a household name that just never won, like fucking Michigan Tech or something that's been around forever but just never won.
Yeah.
I mean, even like Northern Michigan's won national championships or Lake State, it's just
Northern Michigan won one in the late 90s. Like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It's just crazy. Like, I mean, I remember watching Indiana. I remember going to the Camp Randall and watching them play Wisconsin. The only good player they had on their team, and he played every fucking position. You remember the name Antoine Randall L? He was a quarterback and a receiver in the NFL. Now, he played quarterback at the University of Indiana, but he also did kickoff returns and punt returns. He was a legend. Antoine Randall L played in Pittsburgh and a few other spots, but he was a great receiver back in the day. And that was the only name I ever remember coming out of the University of Indiana. Other than that, it was fucking dog shit. It was Bobby Knight's team. Basketball.
Yeah, it's a basketball program.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was cool to see. I do think they should probably end that season a little bit earlier. You get off those divisional highs of an NFL season, Saturday, Sunday, and then it's like, oh fuck, we got
no one really even cared about it.
Yeah, I know. That's just it. It's like, damn.
Yeah, that's bad scheduling. Ended before the NFL playoffs, because once NFL playoffs come, like no one cares about college.
No, they don't. So Azo gonna go over to this week's People's Insider Term of the Week, and here we go. And this week's People's Insider Term of the Week is Pigeon Deck. Now, what the Pigeon Deck is when you get on board an aircraft, you're sitting on the tarmac and you're not sitting in first class. Most people have to experience the Pigeon Deck a lot, including me. The Pigeon Deck is, oh my God, it smells, it's tight. You're usually in boarding zone somewhere 5, 6, 7, 8. You're hoping to God nobody sits in between you in that middle seat. And if you're flying Southwest, aka Southworst, well, you simply don't have a fucking choice. You're going to get stuff somewhere. It's going to smell. Some fat person's going to be drooling all over you. There's kids crying. You're getting elbowed. Someone's going to drop a suitcase on your head when you get off the bird. It's just an absolute petting zoo. The Pigeon Deck is an area that we all strive to get out of. And when you're sitting in the Pigeon Deck, you're like, oh my God, like not even economy plus. No, where you're sitting, fella. Oh, I'm back in the Pigeon Deck. I'm sitting in 28C. You're like, ooh, right next to the shitter. Yeah, fella, it's going to be a long one. I'm in the absolute bleeds of the Pigeon Deck. Azo, that is a reason why I try to work hard. One of the reasons why, you know what, anytime I can avoid it, I stay out of the Pigeon Deck, but it will humble you to the point where sometimes you got to chew on one and you're in the Pigeon Deck and you just hope to God that there's nobody in that middle seat, and hopefully you're not in that fucking middle seat, because it is a war zone, especially on airlines like Spirit, Frontier. I mean, I've flown in the Pigeon Deck on Frontier before. I flew in at one time because it was a direct flight to Cleveland. I got on that plane and I was in the Pigeon Deck. They didn't even have seats. They said, sir, you have to bring your own fold-up lawn chair, or we have some Subway poles in the back. This is how bad this Pigeon Deck is. Some dude brought a George Foreman grill on the fucking thing. He was cooking everyone burgers. I was like, oh my God, is that guy walking in with a crock pot? Sure as shit. He had it full of ramen noodles and he was serving pho. I was like, you're going to put pho in a coffee cup for me? I'm like, Jesus Christ, anything goes back here. It is an absolute yard. So that is this week's People's Insider Term of the Week, the fucking pigeon deck, fella.
The pigeon deck, that's all time. Fold up, bringing your own fold up chair on the frontier flight. That'd be unbelievable.
How good would that be?
Gotta all sign a waiver. There's no seat belts on this flight. So.
The stewardess is walking by with a bunch of duct tape and you're just fucking putting it down. You know, you got the fold up chair. You're just straight from a country concert, drive-in movie.
The worst part about the pigeon deck is when you got like, if let's just say you're sitting in an aisle and the guy next to you on the other aisle seat across the aisle from you, you land, he immediately stands up and you got people behind you trying to, you're in the back of the fucking plane. So you got to pass 100 people. Some of these people in the pigeon deck, they try to walk up the aisle like they're going to get off the plane first. It's like, buddy, you're not getting past 100 people. Just fucking sit there and wait. What are you doing?
Oh yeah. Oh, the one funny thing too, we were flying back. It was actually last Christmas. It was me and my sister, and I was sitting in, I got first class that flight. I was like, fuck, I got a nice deal. I'm sitting first class. It was only like an hour and a half flight, so the prices weren't too crazy. So I'm sitting first class, and Keebs is in the back. And I get off the plane, I was like row 2. She's way back in the pigeon deck. And it's like 10 or 15 minutes at this point where she's still not off the bird. I'm like, let's go. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I finally texted her. I go, hey, Keeb. She's like, what's up? I go, hey, did your part of the plane land yet? And she goes, what? I mean, I've only been out here in the fucking terminal for 20 minutes. I go, did your part of the plane land yet? Like,
been waiting for you out here for 20 minutes off the bone.
Yeah, off the bone is right. Oh man. Speaking of off the bone, did you see EJ Emery's post? He threw up a story and his caption was off the bone.
No way. That's all time.
Shout out to our guy EJ. And then this weekend, Nick and Kells, they went to dinner after their game, after they waxed Seattle, I think on Saturday. They went for dinner and then just, had a couple drinks there, whatever. They were waiting for an Uber. It was like midnight and I was out, and they sent me a video, and it was Turbo Tanev, who's an absolute beauty. And there was like a street meat vendor outside the restaurant they were at, and he was making like hot dogs and, just like all the street meat shit. And he's like, hey fella, I want one off the bone. And they're like, he's like, what? He's like, you got one on or off the bone? And the guy's like, off. He goes, are you sure it's off the bone? It's good to see off the bone is making its way
that's unreal.
Into the mainstream, because that is that's a good one.
That's a hilarious term.
Yeah.
Do they got Kells and Schmaltz on the same line?
Yeah. Nick's playing center right now because cool. He's been playing center for the last 2 months probably.
Looks like they've been playing well. 46, 44 points, plus 12, plus 15.
Yeah. It's
holy fuck. Who's this John Marino guy? He's plus 31.
Yeah, he plays a lot like Dewey. He's a good D-man.
Fuck is this guy? Massachusetts, 6th round pick.
Yeah, he played at Harvard. He's a good player. Yeah, he'll get paid. He's gonna get a nice deal. You should watch their team sometime, Ozzo. I know they're not like on major networks a lot, but next time they are, watch his game. He literally reminds me exactly like Dewey.
Yeah, I gotta watch. I got center ice package, so I can.
Yeah, he's like that calm, like just makes the right, like a one-man breakout, not necessarily with his feet, but just with his passing, like Dewey, and a good stick, can penalty kill, like chip in offensively. Yeah, he's good. It's legit Dewey when I watch him.
I'm excited to watch now. It looks like he's got to be paired up with Schmitty, eh?
Yeah, they've been a fun pair to watch. Yeah,
Schmitty's plus 26. I mean, fuck, plus 31 and 26.
Yeah, highest in the league.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yes, and especially for a team that's 3 games over 500, 4 maybe now.
Yeah, I mean they're in a wild card spot right now.
Yeah, I was telling some of their guys on their team, I was like, fuck, you guys should go get Justin Falk, because everyone on St. Louis is available. I mean, they could obviously use a centerman and make a big splash, but I'm like, if you got Falk and he could play with Sergachev,
Yeah.
now that really solidifies, because Dursey, I like Dursey, but if Dursey's better suited PP2, 15 to 18 minutes, not 22, 24. And you know how Falker is.
Yeah.
Falker's just solid. Like, I mean, he's played 1,000 games. Like, he knows how to play.
He's got a
If you got
fucking missile.
Falker, yeah,
Yeah.
and he can still move.
Yeah, fuck, they gotta.
I mean, the
those
time
boys
is
are out
now.
there. Yeah.
Like, let's go. Let's make some moves here. You're seeing around the league. Like, you got to make the playoffs. So I don't know what's going to go on there, but
They gotta make the playoffs. Just get in.
yep. Ozzo, what do we got this week, fella? We staying? You're not coming here, are you?
No, I actually signed up to play in a outdoor hockey tournament. A guy named Andrew Kozek asked me to
Oh, yeah.
play. And
Nice.
I decided I said yes. It was about a month ago. Former Gopher and Grand Forks native Ryan Patonley on the team as well.
Yep.
The forecast for this weekend, Jordo, -16 on Friday, -12 on Saturday. So I'm really hoping someone puts the foot down and says, this is going to be dangerous, boys. We don't want to lose any toes out there.
Oh my God. What do you do? Do you just play inside?
They might cancel. I don't know. I mean, we're supposed to be on Saturday. It's like we might play 5 games if you play in the championship. So, like, you're outside playing hockey games, -12 degrees. You actually might lose a fucking toe.
Yeah, you might go full Christo. Like, the thing is, usually I think you've played in that before. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've played in something close to that or similar to it. And it looked like before you were like having drinks on the ice, like in a tent or something. Like, dude, you could barely. There's no way it's even safe to be out there playing your game, let alone like mingling with people. I mean, that's
Yeah.
fucking bonkers, dude.
I know.
What do
I
you
know.
do? Are they gonna can they move it to the next weekend, or is there just too much money committed already? Like,
It might be a cancel.
Fuck.
They're talking about it. It might be
Yeah.
just a cancellation, which, I'm actually excited to play. It sounds like fun, but -12, it's like, that ain't gonna be fun, especially if I'm a little buzzed up. Like, I won't be able to feel my toes the way it is. Is this getting dangerous? I don't know.
Who's on your squad?
Shit, I don't know anyone other than Kozek and Patonley.
Is Dunk not on the team?
Nope.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Benny
I couldn't
Blood
say
not playing?
no. I don't. No, he's not in the group chat. I couldn't say no. Usually, if these are people like that ask me my own age or guys that I know, I'll just be like, "Fuck no, I ain't playing." But
Yeah.
Kozak asked me, and I'm like, I used to watch this guy rip fucking wrist shots in the Ralph all the time. Like, I got to play on this guy's team at least once. I'm going to say yes to this.
For sure. You used to use that green Synergy. Oh man, he was juice. Yeah, I don't know what you do, dude. Like you there's not enough layers to go
No.
around, fella.
No, you can't even, like, what are you supposed to put on your toes? And this isn't like a chopper. This isn't like a outdoor tournament with the small nets. You got goalies in net.
Oh,
So,
it's
like,
not one of those with the small nets. You
no,
have
so it's like
goalies? Oh my
goalies,
God,
breezers on.
that's
I'm gonna have to have
brutal.
real hockey gloves. So, like, my
Fuck that.
fingers will be toast.
Guys probably go all out in that.
Oh yeah, there's fights every year. I mean, guys are gonna be tilting out there. Which, like, I was thinking too, if we're going forward with this, do I just stage a fight and try to get kicked out of it so I can never play in it again? Like, maybe just like wait for a kind of suspect call by the ref and go spear him and just beat the shit out of him so I get banned from the tournament for life or something.
I think that's the way you go. I don't think you fight another guy on a different team. I think you fight the ref.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like let them know you're gonna do it too. Like you tip them off a little bit, and just be like, you're just gonna have to wear one, but it's just for the betterment of, so you'll never see me again at this tournament. And he's like, and then he's
Hey,
like,
buddy.
what? And you just catch him with one. He's like, what the? And
Hey,
then you're
buddy,
like,
buddy, I can't be out here tomorrow. I'm sorry about this. Just fucking sucky.
yeah, suck him, and then like take him out for beers after and offer him, if he's a good dude, just offer him some sort of title that he's gonna like in terms of a job offer from Mini Movers. Be like,
Now
dude,
that yeah.
you
Now
know,
that I'm thinking about it, like, is this ref gonna back out? How are you gonna convince a ref to go out there?
oh, no amount of money is worth that. In a
No.
referee jersey and -16 and you're $30 an hour at most. Fuck that. No chance.
No fucking shot.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're gonna be freezing your I saw it was that cold in Madison. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
Playing outside.
it's been brutal this week. It's fucking like
Dog days.
it ain't fun.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep me posted on that. There's
We're-
no way you guys. I mean, I could see them trying to play, but like that's not even healthy.
No, like, what are you gonna spend 7 hours outside in -12-degree weather, like wearing hockey skates and hockey gloves where you can only fit like little small
Yeah,
like finger gloves on? There's no way.
no way.
So
Yeah, pack the toe warmers, Ozzo. You're gonna have to let me know. That was Live at 5, folks. That was episode 111 across your chin. Gage Ausmus, the captain, as always, tape to tape with you, brother. Do you know a lot of people coming down here for this weekend? I haven't really heard. It seems like a little lighter than last year.
it seems lighter than last year to me too. Maybe it's because is Dusky going down there?
I haven't heard.
He must not be because he hasn't asked me to go. So I'm sure there'll be a good crowd though. I mean, fuck, it's freezing up here. People are probably begging to get down to Scottsdale.
Oh man, last year these people when they got down here, and I love all of them that I'm speaking about it, but it was like they landed in Cancun. It was like all bets were off. Like rental cars were spread out across the city. They were in the lazy river all day. They were golfing. They were.
And you're just at home. So like
Yeah.
you're expected to be on vacation with them. It's like, buddy,
yeah.
I'm at home.
Guys are sleeping in guys' bathtubs and rooms because they can't make it to their own hotel room. They're at the casino until 6 in the morning. It's like, guys, like this is I know I don't have like a normal 9 to 5 job, but I just can't go on a 6-day bender with you. Like I just don't have the time. Like I'm sorry. And I know you think talking into a microphone is not a real job, but like I still have other things. I still run a business. You know, that was the best part. It was just like, what do you mean you're not golfing? Oh, you're not coming to the lazy river? What do you mean we're poolside right now? We got a cabana. I'm like, dude, it's Thursday.
I was getting that shit when they came down here for that Canada tournament or the fucking World Juniors. It's like, buddy, I gotta work tomorrow. Like I got shit to do.
All time, dude. So yeah, I've been kind of just, staying out of those talks just because, I'm not going to be in town. I wish I was, but that's show business. So Ozzo, always tape to tape. Like I was saying with you, brother, Butter Golf Mini Movers, the official partners over here. Folks, I hope you enjoyed that one. Enjoy your week. Stay clean out there. Go UND, go Sioux. Greg Powers, I love you, but not on these weekends, my friend. Ozzo, J Swish, we out. Woo.